Ceuta is currently facing one of the most significant migration challenges seen in recent years. Thousands of people have arrived from Morocco into the Spanish enclave within a short period of time, placing extraordinary pressure on local services, reception centers, and security forces. The Spanish government has announced that it is working closely with Moroccan authorities to restore order, manage humanitarian needs, and address border security concerns. This video explores the background of the crisis, the causes behind the recent arrivals, and the possible impact on Spain, Morocco, and the European Union. What is Ceuta? Ceuta is a small Spanish territory located on the northern coast of Africa and shares a land border with Morocco. Because it is part of Spain and the European Union, it is often viewed by migrants as a potential gateway to Europe. Why is Ceuta in the international news? Ceuta has experienced a sudden increase in the number of people arriving from Morocco over a relatively short period. This influx has created pressure on local authorities and reception facilities. Why are many people trying to enter Ceuta? Many migrants see Ceuta as an entry point to Europe where they hope to find better economic opportunities, improved living conditions, and greater stability for themselves and their families. How did many of the migrants reach Ceuta? Many individuals reportedly reached the territory by swimming around coastal barriers or using other irregular routes rather than through official border crossings. Why do the crossings increase in summer? Warmer weather and calmer sea conditions can make crossing attempts more attractive to some people who believe the journey will be less dangerous than at other times of the year. What impact has the influx had on local facilities? Reception centers have faced serious capacity challenges, with available accommodation and services struggling to handle the number of new arrivals. What is SETI? SETI is the temporary immigrant reception center in Ceuta where many new arrivals are received while their cases are processed and their immediate needs are addressed. Why has SETI become a major focus of the crisis? The large increase in arrivals within a small time frame has placed the center under considerable pressure and has created concerns about overcrowding. What challenges do local authorities face? Local authorities must manage housing, food, medical care, security, registration procedures, and the need to protect vulnerable individuals, including minors. How has Spain responded to the situation? The Spanish government has deployed additional security resources, increased coordination among different agencies, and worked to expand humanitarian support for new arrivals. What has Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez said about the crisis? He has stated that the government is fully committed to providing an immediate response and restoring normality as soon as possible. Why is cooperation with Morocco important? Most crossings originate from the Moroccan side of the border, making cooperation between Spain and Morocco essential for addressing migration flows and improving border management. What steps have Spain and Morocco agreed to take? The two countries have committed to strengthening coordination, reviewing migration procedures, and working together to manage the current situation. What are the humanitarian concerns related to the crisis? Many migrants undertake dangerous journeys by sea or along coastal routes, creating risks of exhaustion, injury, and drowning. Why are children and minors a special concern? Unaccompanied minors require additional protection, shelter, education, and care, which can place further demand on already strained services. How does this crisis affect the local population? Residents may experience pressure on public services, changes in daily operations, and increased attention from national and international media. Why is Ceuta strategically important? Ceuta is one of the few locations where Europe and Africa meet directly through a land border, making it a key point for trade, security, and migration issues. How does migration in Ceuta relate to the European Union? As Spanish territory, Ceuta is part of the European Union's external border, so developments in the city often attract attention from European institutions and member states. Could more people arrive in the coming days? Authorities continue to monitor the situation closely because future arrivals will depend on many factors, including weather conditions, enforcement measures, and regional circumstances. What are the possible long-term consequences? The crisis could influence future migration policies, border management strategies, and cooperation agreements between Spain, Morocco, and European partners. What lessons can be learned from this situation? The events demonstrate the complex relationship between migration, economic opportunity, humanitarian responsibility, and international cooperation. Why is balanced reporting important? Accurate information helps people understand the human, political, and economic dimensions of migration without relying on rumors or misinformation. What is the status of the crisis at present? Authorities continue to manage the arrivals of new migrants while working to improve reception conditions, strengthen border coordination, and restore stability in the territory. What could happen next? Spain and Morocco are expected to continue strengthening cooperation, increasing border monitoring, improving migrant processing procedures, and seeking ways to reduce dangerous crossing attempts while maintaining humanitarian assistance. Finally, the developing situation in Ceuta highlights the complex challenges of modern migration and the importance of cooperation between neighboring countries. Balancing security, humanitarian responsibilities, and international relations remains essential for finding effective and sustainable solutions. The events in Ceuta will likely continue to attract attention as authorities work to restore normality and address the causes and consequences of the migration surge. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue creating educational and in-depth content about important events and developments from around the world.